This program was produced by and first broadcast on Radio Kidnappers, a community access media station. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this type of programming possible.
Good morning, this is Heiko from the Acupuncture on Air show, and we've got a special day today, a special show today I should say, and a special day because it's World Acupuncture Awareness Day, and we've got a very special guest with us, Robin Kerr, who is our current president of Acupuncture New Zealand. Good morning, Robin, how are you?
Good morning, Heiko. Good. Lovely day down here in Christchurch.
Yeah, no, well, that's... We've been having some heat waves up here, so I don't know about down there. Actually, my wife and daughter are down in Christchurch next week, so hopefully you'll put on some good weather for her.
Yes, indeed.
But before we sort of, talk a bit about sort of, World Acupuncture Awareness Day, tell us a little bit about Acupuncture New Zealand in terms of, it being an acupuncture association. Like, how long has it been going? What's its purpose? And just give us a little bit of a background there, if you could.
Yes, certainly. Look, Acupuncture New Zealand started out as the New Zealand Register of Acupuncture way back in 1977. That's some 42 years ago. And originally there were 8 members. And back in 1977 there was a move to have only GPs provide acupuncture. And it was recognised that traditional trained practitioners were going to be excluded. So the main purpose of setting it up was to ensure that traditionally trained practitioners could continue to work.
All right, that's amazing. But now 42 years later, they're still working.
Yeah, indeed, they are. They are still working, and we've swelled. We're at around 700 members.
700, okay. And are they spread out like all through New Zealand, or are they predominantly...
They are, though we have a great concentration in Auckland, but they are throughout. You will find acupuncturists in isolated communities dotted around the country.
Fantastic. Now, tell us a bit about sort of World Acupuncture Awareness Day, the background to it, or how did it start?
Well, on the 16th of November, way back in 2010, there was an adding of list of intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO. So basically, the World Federation of Acupuncture Societies was already recognising the 22nd of November as the birth date of a worldwide combination of societies of acupuncture. And at that stage in 2010, they managed to have UNESCO recognise the intangible cultural heritage. And that's a really important, we can recognise this in New Zealand today as the importance of the treaty. It has the importance of recognising traditions or living expressions inherited from our ancestors and passed on to descendants. So this includes the practices concerning nature and understanding of the universe and oral traditions, and in that the whole system of acupuncture and Chinese philosophy.
Okay. Now,
so this was big.
Now, around the world, on this day, I mean, we talked before about the World Federation of Acupuncture Societies, but around the world, are there lots of other societies or associations doing things to promote it? Like today, we've got the radio show here, but what about the Californian acupuncturist or the British Acupuncture Society?
Yes, there are things happening throughout the world, and I think one really significant one is the British Council, and they're marking World Acupuncture Day with the launch of a film that focuses on the high-level work that's being carried out by members across the UK and the diversity of the types of work that acupuncturists are providing. And this is going to be unveiled at the parliamentary reception in the House of Commons. So it's actually going to be shown in the House of Commons, which is quite a nice backdrop. And a lot of the purpose of this is recognising the issues of sustainability.
All right. Now, I know in New Zealand, I mean, acupuncture has always had quite a reasonable status to begin with, because it must be for some decades now that we've had ACC and acupuncture. Now, can you just tell us a bit about that? Like, how is acupuncture related with ACC and so forth?
Yes. Well, acupuncture, quite some years ago, was added into the providers of for ACC. So we are registered providers. That is, those that are qualified and registered with Acupuncture New Zealand are qualified and can register to be practitioners and providers for ACC for musculoskeletal injuries in New Zealand.
Now, are there only certain injuries that you can go to see your acupuncturist for? Like, is it only back pain, or is it only tennis elbow, or is there...
Oh, no. There's an extensive range of the musculoskeletal problems. In fact, when you look at what our scope of practice covers, we are more extensive than chiropractors and osteopaths in terms of what we can cover.
Right.
I believe there's a lot more injuries that we are registered to provide treatment for than other groups.
Now, what about the injuries themselves? What do we find are the common ones that acupuncturists tend to see? Obviously, lower back pain would be one, because I think every second person will have that. But what are some of the real most common problems that people actually see acupuncturists for?
We have. I think it's like singing "dim bones, dim dry bones." We're treating throughout the whole body, and the most common ones of us, if I look at my practice at this time of year, when everyone starts to try and get fit for spring and starts running out there, we start to see lots of ankle problems and hamstrings and Achilles tendons. And so we see a lot of the lower knees and backs and hips. Shoulder injuries. Acupuncture is evidence-based for shoulder injury, highly evidence-based. So that is one of the injuries and conditions, for instance, like frozen shoulders, that acupuncture is highly recommended for.
Well, I know that many people still have that perception that acupuncture is for pain. It's sort of like, it's this alternative to taking a painkiller or something. But you know, we do know that it helps actually for the body to regenerate, rejuvenate, repair itself. But it's not just for pain. But tell us about what acupuncture can do for other conditions and other problems.
Yes, well, it's used for. I mean, it's a whole system of health. So it's embedded. It's embedded. Acupuncture is one branch of a whole system of health. And so, just like other systems of health, it is, it's applicable to fertility and women's health, and the whole range of women's health. It's also very, very useful for internal disease and conditions such as Parkinson's, in conditions of heart disease, supporting autoimmune system disease, reducing inflammatory markers. Very, very, very effective, used in combination with Western treatment for cancer and oncology issues. So the wound, if you've had surgery, helping to repair the wounds, and for the chemotherapy, for people undergoing chemotherapy, very effective in reducing nausea and stopping the development of phlegm in the digestive system, which will both cause more nausea, but also to keep the immune
Now, with all these
So-
things, no wonder we're so busy, Robin, you know?
Yes, I know. We're busy little chipmunks.
But having said that, you know, and this is what I've noticed is a big change in the last, say, 30 years since I've been practicing. You know, when I first started, no person ever asked me or questioned me, oh, has this been researched? Whereas now everyone's an expert on Google and they've looked up something and then they come in, has there been research done on treating, eczema on the inside of the elbow? But can you just tell us a little bit about acupuncture and research, just to put these Googleites at rest?
Yes, well, it's grown exponentially. So in the last 20 years, we're increasing at the rate twice percent of research to conventional biomedicine. So in the British documentary, they've identified that there's been over 1,000 research just in Britain alone for the last year.
Right.
And so there is actually an incredible amount of research going on, and there is the evidence-based acupuncture organisation. That is one that people could Google. And the other is...
what we can do there, Rob, we can put that link up onto the YouTube, and then people will be able to...
That would be good.
Yeah.
And also, I think John McDonald and Stephen Jan's work is also good to show the evidence. Their 2017 work in Australia at looking at the systemic reviews. So I think there's a lot of work that's been going on, and I find there was also some work in the insurance companies in America where they were, this was just delightful. They were looking at whether or not justified to carry on using acupuncture in their payouts, as part of the scope of what they provided the people who were getting their insurance.
And we know what insurance companies are like. They're there to run a profit. So unless they can see dollar signs,
yes.
yeah.
And this is so significant, I believe, because it just goes to show. Because here is a group that would love to cut us off the
payroll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they took back pain and they retrospectively looked at those that had back surgery and acupuncture. And what they found was that those that had acupuncture as part of their recovery used less opiates, so their pain relief went down. They used it for a shorter amount of time. Their return to work was much faster and more return to work than those that had not had acupuncture. And they went to interviews and found that people spoke of their well-being being improved. They felt generally better. So it was demonstrating that the first line of action should in fact be more to do with getting the acupuncture going than getting the opiates going. So
that sounds really, really good. But I think we might have to finish up here because I've got Ken over there, the DJ, waving at us. Before we go, just say hello to Ken there quickly, Robin. He's done an amazing job this morning.
Good morning. Are you just itching to get one of Heiko's songs on?
Oh, no, he has the very best songs that you've ever heard.
Yeah, no, Ken did a great job. We went to 3 different studios, 5 different phones trying to work out, and in the end, there's technology. It works if you ring us, but not if we ring you.
Yes,
So,
yes, that's the trick. We ring you.
Yeah, but thank you very much for being on the show, Robin. And I'd like to
wonderful day.
Yeah, I'd like to talk with you again next year. I'm sure there's many other topics that we can have a talk about next year. But for our song to close, we're actually going to have a Ringo Starr song. Now, it's from his 20th album. since he's left the Beatles, and the song is called "What's My Name." And what's interesting about it is that it's actually a John Lennon song, and it's called "Grow Old with Me." And then he got his old buddy Paul McCartney to do a bit of backup there. So here's the song, "Grow Old with Me." All the best, Robin.
Right.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
This program was produced by and first broadcast on Radio Kidnappers, a community access media station. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this type of programming possible.